fear of rising population in Nigeria, President Buhari says a prosperous society is one where a majority of its citizens have an acceptable standard of living and a decent quality of life. And the APGA governorship candidate in Abia State, Mr. Alex Osi, has come at the governor, Okeze Ikpeazu, saying the government has failed and asked it to sit up. Hello everyone and welcome to the program. This is Politics Today live on Channels Television. I'm Sean Okimbalwe in Lagos. Well, it's been something a lot of you have been talking about. It's been trending and it's about what has now become a viral video of an investigation into activities of some university lecturers in Ghana and Nigeria. Well, there's been some sanctions and some reactions coming from authorities involved. A lecturer in the University of Lagos, Dr. Boniface Igbeneghu, who was captured on video in a compromising manner with an undercover student seeking admission, has been suspended by authorities of the University of Lagos and the church where he belongs, Foursquare Church, where he's a part-time pastor. The lecturer is under fire after a BBC documentary filmed discreetly by a reporter. In the video, Dr. Igbeneghu could be seen groping the undercover reporter, disguised as a 17-year-old admission seeker. The school's pro-chancellor, Dr. Wale Babalaki, however, told Channels Television that the University Council will investigate the matter as it does not condone such behavior. To some mainstream politics now. Our attention for a moment is on Abia State in southeast Nigeria, where the governor, Okeze Ikpeazu, has come under intense attack from the All Progressives Grand Alliance governorship candidate in the last governorship election, Dr. Alex Oti, saying the government has no tangible project of benefit to the people of the state since he assumed office. Mr. Oti says that the Ikpeazu government is owing several months of salaries and wages to several workers, and infrastructure in the state is in a sorry state. Mr. Oti, at a press conference, is calling on citizens of the state to come around and help salvage the situation in the state before it gets totally bad.
Academic and health institutions are daily in the news because of one government-induced crisis or another. And as I address you here today, Abia State Polytechnic has been shut down by angry NLC leadership because dozens of their staff were sacked by the government while being owed 13-month salary arrears. There are no good things that he has done. I'm looking for them. I've been seriously looking for good things, and if I saw them, I would have tabled them. Unfortunately, I can't see any. All what you see are propaganda. There is Abia rice today, and you know there's none. So the solution would have to start with getting the man to sit back and develop passion. I hope he can, and also be compassionate. He doesn't care.
These are some stinging allegations and attacks on the Ikpeazu government and the governor on the performance which he described as low. Meanwhile, Channels Television has sought the Ikpeazu government's reaction to some of these allegations of non-payment of salary, poor performance, and mismanagement. But we're still expecting answers from the government and the governor's office to some of these issues raised by Mr. Oti at a press conference today. Well, let's now check out some other stories we're following for you on our political roundup.
A group of politicians are calling on the national leader of the All Progressives Congress, Mr. Bola Ahmed Tinubu, to contest for the 2023 presidential election. The group named Tinubu Non-Negotiable, TNN, is led by Lagos politician Mutiu Kule Okwala. They believe that with the pedigree and antecedents of Tinubu, he is qualified to become Nigeria's president come 2023. The TNN was in Akure, the Ondo state capital, to launch the group. and they are of the opinion that power should rotate between the north and the south.
When people are looking up to Tinubu, with the credit of what he has done in Lagos State, give it to him. If he's given opportunity to do something as a president, he will do better.
Workers' unions in Nigeria say they are running out of patience with the government over what they describe as delay in the implementation of the 30,000 naira new minimum wage. Last week, the Nigeria Labour Congress and the Trade Union Congress issued a joint statement asking the federal and state governments to implement the new minimum wage by mid-October or risk a mass strike action. This demand again forms the core of the several requests that the workers are seeking government's immediate attention to as they mark the 2019 World Decent Work Day in Abuja. The Bauchi Governorship Election Tribunal in Bauchi State has upheld the victory of Governor Bala Mohammed. In his ruling, the tribunal's chairman, Justice Salihu Salisu, dismissed the petition for lacking in merit. Justice Salisu ruled that the allegations against the respondents remain unsubstantiated and Governor Mohammed is duly elected with the majority of lawful votes. Ahead of the November governorship poll in Kogi State, the ruling All Progressives Congress and the main opposition, the People's Democratic Party, have been trading words over the recent violence that broke out at a PDP campaign rally in the state. While the PDP is accusing the APC of masterminding the violence, the APC says through one of its leaders in the state that it doesn't believe in the violence and has denied sponsoring thugs to disrupt the rally.
Let's now begin tonight's conversation, everyone. President Muhammadu Buhari says a significant proportion of Nigeria's prosperity is concentrated in the hands of a few people. He also said that Nigeria's democracy is growing and that our country, Nigeria, once has shown the world that we can choose our leaders in a peaceful and orderly manner. Apart from a few pockets of unrest, majority of voters exercise their civic rights without hindrance. Those are the words of President Muhammadu Buhari at the opening session of the 25th Nigerian Economy Summit in Abuja. The president said those few people are currently living in 4 or 5 states, and those who have majority of Nigeria's wealth and the Federal Capital Territory.
Our policies and programs must focus on promoting inclusivity and collective prosperity. This shift implies that the concept of having competitive free markets that focus on wealth creation alone will be replaced by those that propagate the creation of inclusive markets which provide citizens with opportunities that will lead to peaceful and prosperous lives.
We will draw tonight on President Buhari's plan on the economy. There is planned increase in value-added tax. And of course, if you are a user of any telco line or mobile phone, then you need also to know what the plan of the government is in a possible increase on tax or the possible taxation on what you do on your mobile phone. So the president is expected to address the joint session of the National Assembly tomorrow to present the 2020 budget. There was an extraordinary meeting of the Federal Executive Council at the State House earlier today. There's, however, no media briefing from the council after the meeting, which held ahead of the 2020 budget presentation at the National Assembly tomorrow. Members of the council, led by President Muhammadu Buhari, met for almost 5 hours since about noon today, earlier punctuated by a brief recess. The meeting was originally scheduled to hold on Saturday, but was rescheduled. The council was expected to put finishing touches to the fiscal document and tie up the loose ends before the final presentation to the lawmakers. The Senate had announced that President Buhari would be addressing a joint sitting of both the Senate and House of Representatives at 2 p.m. tomorrow. Channel Television will be covering that for you. So stay with us, everyone, for that.